Hi everyone! Thanks for watching. Today I'm going to put together a silk bridal bouquet using artificial roses. I have white hydrangea, light blue hydrangea, some artificial eucalyptus, and seeded eucalyptus. So I'm going to start by prepping all my stems. Once I get the bouquet in my hand, I'm not going to want to let it go to prep the material. So for the roses, I'm just removing all the leaves from them, and of course the tags. And then I'm going to trim down the stems so as I'm putting together the bouquet, I'm not wiping out everything on the table. A little easier to work with. I want to make sure I have a good 2 handful length off the blossom. I'm leaving still a lot of extra just to make sure. I'd rather subtract than have to add length to it. With the hydrangeas, I prepped them by separating the blossom. It came in like this, and then I cut them apart and I wired them. Doing the same with the blue hydrangea. It's come in pretty large, so I'm just gonna divide it in half. I might do, I'm gonna divide it in half. So I've got one here. Take a medium gauge wire, and I'm just going to kind of loop it through and pinch it together and then wrap it around. And of course you don't want to show any of your mechanics. You don't want that wire exposed. Try to make the flowers look as natural as possible. So I'm going to cover it with a wax floral tape. I just happen to have a lighter color tape, so it matches the stem that's already there. The tape also comes in like a darker green and a brown. There's all different shades. A white, I believe, too. I went all the way to the end. So there's that. Fluff it out a little bit. Kind of give it a little bit more shape. And then I already have my seeded eucalyptus prepped. I've separated the stems, did the same thing, put the wire around it, and wrapped it in a floral tape. And then for the regular eucalyptus, I'm just going to pull off each individual spiral on there. Again, doing the same thing, grabbing my wire, kind of making almost like a pin, and then wrapping it around part of the stem that I can. So it's a good grab there. And then I got the dark green floral tape, and we'll cover that up. Go as far down as I can. And I'm just going to turn off the camera and finish prepping all the stems, and then we'll assemble the bouquet. Alright, so I've got everything prepped up. Hopefully I have enough of everything. I tried to kind of do overkill on it and do more than what I think I needed. But now I'm going to start putting together the bouquet. And the style that the bride was looking at is kind of more of a natural, kind of a free-form look. So I'm going to try to do different layers where some of the flowers are going to extend further than the others, just to kind of give it more of a depth. I'm going to start with a rose here. And at first I'm going to line everything up so the stems are all going kind of straight. Hopefully I can do this all in one take, and hopefully I can keep it in the camera there. So now I got kind of a nice little straight line going here, a nice middle start. I might tuck in some of this some of this eucalyptus here. I'm keeping my hand a good space down on the bouquet, and I'll move it down further as I add to it. If I wanted a real tight bouquet, I would keep my hand closer to the top. But I've got a little bit lower, kind of a loose grip on it. And just try to work a little bit of this eucalyptus in there. See from the top. Alright, so now as I go and I add on to it, I'm going to put the stem in at an angle. And it's nice with the silk flowers, the artificial flowers, because you can bend the stem. If this was fresh, of course, that's something you could probably do, but you'd have to be very, very careful. I'm going to tie this off with the chenille stem that I dropped. And I'm probably going to fluff it out some more, but then I will come back and show you how to wrap the stem. Alright, so I went ahead and I kind of moved things around, fluffed it around a little bit, and got it to the shape and the style to where I think it needs to be. So now I'm going to go ahead and wrap the stem in a satin ribbon. And I think for this scenario, the roses had a really pretty stem to it, and the wire's not really protruding from the bottom. So I'm going to kind of trim up these other wires up a little bit high, my wire cutters there. And then I'm going to leave the rose stems a little bit longer, and I'll wrap the ribbon to just above the rose stems. Just want to make sure that there's no wires sticking out that would snag on the dress or hurt the bride or anybody that's carrying it. Trim this up too. Alright. So probably you want to make sure you can get 2 handfuls on there, and then I'm going to go a little bit more. So 1, 2, and then a little bit more. I'm going to trim everything to right about there. And at this point you could take the wax floral tape, and actually I think I will. I'm going to wrap the whole stem just so everything stays nice and tight where I want it to stay. That's about as far as I'm going to go with my ribbon too. Alright, so I was looking at the bouquet trying to figure out if there's kind of a front or back to it, anything that stood out, one area looked better than the other, and where did I decide that was? I think it was right here. Kind of has a dip in it, and so the bride could hold that close to her and not have the bouquet rub on the dress. And then the front, it looks nice. It's got a nice shape to it. So we are calling that the back. Alright. And I'm going to have the ribbon held with a bouquet pin, but I don't want that whole pin going through. So I'm going to kind of trim up the wire. Okay. Oops. I did 2 of them just in case I drop one. So we got ribbon here. Alright, so my camera just fell over, but I went ahead and gave the ribbon a twist at the top. I stuck a pin in there to hold it. I'm going to do one more pin, just make it sure it's nice and secure. You can always add like a little bit of hot glue to make sure it stays. And I want to get rid of the extra. Give it a little cut here. There we go. So this is a good way for the bride to know which is the front, which is the back too of the bouquet. Gives her a place to put her thumb when she's holding it. And now I can't set my camera up any higher to see the whole bouquet, so I'll get this all set up and then I'll take a picture of it all finished. And here we go, finished final bridal bouquet. Thank you so much for watching.